Welcome back to your Sunday Setup. I'm Whitney. Over the past few weeks, we've explored some powerful ideas. First, we talked about radical responsibility, recognizing that while we can't control circumstances, we always control our response. Then last week, we discussed ending resistance, the realization that much of our suffering comes not from events themselves, but from mentally fighting reality. Today, we bring those ideas together because when you stop resisting reality, you start owning your response and something remarkable happens. You reclaim your agency. And agency is one of the most powerful forces for transforming your work week, your relationships, and your life. But before we begin, let's get centered. Take a slow breath in. Release it. Let your shoulders soften. Silently repeat, I have more influence than I realize. I can choose my next step. I can move forward with intention. One more breath and gently return. Now, imagine two sailboats on the same body of water. The wind shifts and the waves rise. One sailor curses the wind, complaining about the direction and wishing the weather would change. The other sailor adjusts the sails. Neither controls the wind, but one understands something powerful. You don't control the conditions. You control how you navigate them. And agency works the same way. When we spend our energy complaining about circumstances, we drift. When we adjust our sails, we move. You see, agency isn't about controlling everything. It's about recognizing where you do have influence and using it intentionally. Without agency, work feels like something that happens to you. Deadlines feel oppressive. Conversations feel stressful. Opportunities feel just out of reach. But when you reclaim agency, something shifts. You begin asking different questions. What can I improve here? What conversation needs to happen? What skill could I develop? What step could move this forward? Agency transforms frustration into movement. Here are 3 strategies for living with agency. First, shift from complaint to curiosity. Complaints keep you stuck. Curiosity opens options. Instead of saying, this situation is impossible, ask, what options exist that I haven't considered? The moment curiosity enters, possibilities appear. Second, identify your circle of influence. Many people spend energy worrying about things outside their control, and agency grows when you focus on what you can influence. Things like your preparation, your communication, your effort, and your attitude. Those things shape outcomes more than we often realize. And third, take one intentional step. Agency rarely appears through dramatic change. It shows up through small intentional steps. So you send the email, schedule the conversation, clarify expectations, learn the skill, because momentum builds through your action. Let's explore an example. Imagine it's Wednesday afternoon and a project that you're working on isn't going the way you'd hoped. Here's your old pattern. You get frustrated, you complain to coworkers, and you carry that stress into the evening. But your new agency pattern, you pause. You ask, what is one step that can improve this situation? Maybe it's asking for clarity. Maybe it's adjusting priorities. Maybe it's reaching out for support. The problem hasn't disappeared, but you're no longer powerless because you're participating, and that changes the entire experience. Next week, we'll explore something that determines whether agency actually transforms your life: consistency. Because insight without consistent action rarely leads to change. In episode 81, we'll talk about the discipline of consistency, how small repeated actions shape confidence, momentum, and long-term results. So, what do you walk away with from here? Agency is empowering. Not because it gives you control over everything, but because it reminds you that you are never completely powerless. You always have influence, you always have choices, and those choices shape the direction of your life. If you're ready to develop the emotional awareness and daily practices that support this kind of intentional living, explore the Mindful 5 at themindful5.com. As we wrap up for today, adjust your sails as you move forward with intention. And until next time, take care.